What is that noise? I just finished reading This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers, and I can't deal with it. I need to talk about it with someone. So I thought I would make a review video, more like why I love this book and why I think other people should read this book. I've seen a lot of people compare this book to The Breakfast Club meets The Walking Dead, and although I agree to it on the surface, more importantly, I think this book made me feel the same feeling I got when I watched the new horror movie called It Follows. If you have watched that, I think it came out like last year or the year before. It's that sort of slow, eerily silent, tight-chested type of feeling. This story follows Salone, who is our main character, plus 5 other students as they hide out in their abandoned school while the zombie outbreak is happening all around them outside. It's essentially a story about survival and people. As I mentioned, this is a story about people, and the very basic premise of this story forces unlikely characters into one space, and it basically explores how they interact with each other and their emotional connections towards each other, whether it be internal or external. Salone, our main character, is someone who feels very alone, and as a result of that, she basically isolates herself from everyone around her, and this has happened way before the zombie apocalypse has started. She has a lot of hidden backstory and secrets that we get to learn more and more as the story goes on. This is also part of the reason why the plot works and moves forward, because her connection to her family and what's happened before the outbreak has affected her to make her act a certain way for survival. As people keep mentioning, there is a Breakfast Clubby vibe to this book, and it's due to the characters. Although there isn't a specific stereotype given to any of them, I think they do still have a very particular personality type that you can recognize all throughout the book. And that's one of the things I love about this book, is they're very specific without making it a stereotype, but I think with all their actions and how they react to things all throughout the book, they tend to stay very true to themselves. Courtney Summers has managed to repeatedly stab me in the stomach over and over again, while still making me enjoy it. Reading from the perspective of a character who keeps to herself and who keeps a lot of her feelings and thoughts within herself is very interesting, because she's very calculated about what she says out loud. And Courtney Summers chooses to make her voice very direct and blunt, and just uses short but very powerful sentences all throughout this book. Because Salone is a character who chooses her words very carefully, I think Courtney Summers did a really good job in creating very raw and powerful imagery in very few words. It's a zombie book, but it's a very different kind of zombie book, and I love that for it, because there's a lot of build-up and anticipation while reading it. I personally am someone who is terrified of the idea of the undead. Not so much like if I saw it in a movie or something like that. Like I don't mind watching like The Walking Dead or whatever, but the idea of dead people coming back to life does scare me, and I think this book did a really great job in kind of highlighting that fear of that like anticipation slowness. I know I keep saying that, but I honestly don't know how else to describe it. So, all in all, I think I would give this book a 9.5 out of 10 baseball bats. And I recommend it to everyone. Anyway, please let me know down below if you've read this book so we can discuss. I did a written review on my blog that's a little more in depth. It's all spoiler free, If you want to check that out, I will leave the link to it down below. And I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon.